Tofu, tempeh and noodles are food staples that have long defined everyday meals in Indonesia. They're now becoming more expensive as global volatility, a stronger US dollar and weaker rupiah drive up the cost of imports. Producers say margins are being squeezed and consumers are now feeling the pinch. CNA's Chandni Vatvani reports from Jakarta.
Jakarta has many tofu and tempeh production villages. I'm here at one such village in central Jakarta, home to some 40 tempeh and tofu makers who are reeling from the effects of the strong dollar. Slamet Subirin and Salamat Riyadi are both members of their local tofu and tempeh artisanal community. Here in Indonesia, tofu and tempeh are a daily staple. They're made from soybeans, and they're among the country's most accessible and consumed sources of protein. But Indonesia imports more than 90% of the soybeans it consumes. The stronger US dollar against the rupiah, Middle East tensions, and global supply chain disruptions have driven up production costs, leaving producers struggling to cope with rising prices.
1.200.000 Mbak per kintalnya. Ya dari tadinya 900 ada kenaikannya itu terus gitu Mbak. Itu yang sangat berat kami rasakan Mbak, untuk pemasarannya juga otomatis pendapatan kami juga sangat berkurang.
Paling kita lebih perkecil sedikit ukurannya itu. Dari yang tadinya satu ini bisa jadi 50 potong, sekarang sekitar 60 potong gitu. Jadi kita lebihin sedikit aja.
People who shop at Jakarta's markets are also feeling the pinch, especially when it comes to basic necessities.
3 bulan yang lalu ya harganya masih stabil, cuman makin kesini harganya mulai naiknya lumayan banyak gitu. Jadi kayak dampak buat kita juga bahan makanan agak dikurangin juga kan dari yang kemarin. Gitu.
Tadinya 100.000 bisa banyak gitu ya, sekarang ya paling cuma dapat berapa macam doang. Ya berdampak juga sih, dolar naik gitu, jadi semua harga-harga ikut naik.
Another favorite food in Indonesia is noodles. Like soybeans, the country imports nearly all of the wheat it needs to meet domestic demand. That means it's vulnerable to global price swings. The government is introducing consumer stimulus measures to bolster the economy amid volatile global dynamics. This will cost the state nearly $1.5 billion and will mostly go towards food assistance. The Indonesian central bank has also increased its benchmark rate to defend the rupiah and tame inflation. Despite these measures, analysts say more needs to be done to cushion the impact on consumers.
So the business side in Indonesia, they begin to increase the sales price. But the problem is the purchasing power of the middle class is declining. Therefore, it's very hard for them to adjust the product price. But in average, they will facing 30% of the production cost increase. From the depreciation of rupiah, the imported inflations will kick in and the price will be very, very sticky for productions.
Observers say foreign direct investment matters now more than ever, and new investments must be realized as soon as possible, as they will play a vital role to drive and support growth. Chandni Vatvani, CNA, Jakarta.